moments that we have left, we want to talk right down to earth in a language that everybody here can easily understand.
Welcome to Search Talk Live with search engine optimization and marketing experts Robert O'Haver and Caleb McKelvin, powered by the Robert Palmer family of companies.
Welcome to another episode of Search Talk Live. I think we've hit number 20 now.
Yeah, big 2-0.
Yeah, today, on Search Talk Live, we talk about search engine optimization, search engine marketing, social media. If it's digital, we cover it. Even if it's a new startup or new platform such as Blab, which we are broadcasting on right now, but we'll get into that in a minute. With me today, I have my co-host, Caleb McKelvin. Caleb.
What is up, Rob?
Not much, man. I'm glad to be back in the seat.
Heck yeah. My favorite day of the week, of course, as we hop on Search Talk Live, talk digital marketing, talk a little geek, and, interact with the SEO world.
Yep. So if you want to call in and you have questions, we take live phone calls. We will answer your questions if you want to talk about your site or marketing or anything you want to talk about, SEO, how to rank your site, whatever. We can help you with that. If you give us a call, if we don't have the answer, we will get it for you. But most cases we do. But if you want, call in 855-722-0006. Again, the number is 855-722-0006.
Option 1. Make sure you hit option 1. That'll direct you straight over to our man Dave, who's monitoring the calls, and we'll get you on air and talk some SEO.
Yeah. So what we're going to talk about today is kind of it's causing a lot of controversy in the SEO world, and it's really not a big deal, but people are making it out to be that way. I've listened to some of the podcasts, and I've listened to other people on YouTube talking about it, and let me tell you, it's not all. It's a big deal. In fact, it's a great thing. But what we're going to talk about is RankBrain.
I love the name of that.
Yeah,
RankBrain.
I wonder who came up with that.
Yeah, whoever came up with it, very creative, on point. I really like it.
Yeah. Now, RankBrain was. Everybody thinks it was just released, but guess what? It wasn't. It was released first part of this year, and it's been running for a while.
Well, that's how most of the algorithms and updates are.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll go ahead and release them, and you don't even know they're out, but, they're out, they're working, and then they'll finally, once they kind of tune it up a little bit, they'll notify you, hey, this has been going on, or here we go, and everybody thinks it's a big bombshell, but what you don't know is they've actually been running it a little bit.
Yeah. So what we're going to do, we're going to go into what exactly it is and how it's going to affect your site. So starting out, RankBrain is basically a bolt-on. It coincides with all the other algorithms that are out there now. They kind of work together. What RankBrain ultimate goal is, and it's part of Hummingbird mostly, but it does work with Panda and Penguin as well. It is mostly made to self-learn. It is a self-learning system, AI, that will help with the contextual or the content someone is in synonyms that are being used in a search. So if you ask how big is Mount St. Helens or whatever, it's learning this stuff, and then it gives you results. And as it learns, it sees how you're interacting with the sites. Are you pogo sticking, bouncing off the sites, that type of stuff? It kind of goes along with all of that.
Yeah.
But as it goes on and as it's learning how you're asking that question or what you're looking for. And as it gets going, it's self-taught. So eventually, it's going to nail it. And then you've got some more stats on that, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you take a step back and look at it, I mean, Google is kind of the front runner in artificial intelligence. They're on top of it. They are pushing it. They're trying to grow it. They learn in everything, developing everything they can, to develop this artificial intelligence and creating RankBrain, creating this AI system. They're really going to improve how it processes search results and the information that is spit back at you. I mean, it's really an awesome thing. And instead of having humans kind of detail it, tinker with it, to update it, and all this other stuff. It's teaching itself. It's it's learning how to provide the best results possible, which it's not really the biggest change in SEO ever, but I think it will be a huge factor in the results that it is going to produce in certain search queries.
No, I think it's fantastic. I mean, I think you had some stats. What was those stats you were talking about?
Oh man, I was reading. There's 2 awesome articles on RankBrain that I've read through a few times. Each one of them. There's one on Search Engine Land, and there's one on Bloomberg. Bloomberg, I think, was on Bloomberg.com, and I'll tweet it out. Had some awesome stats to where they did the human engineers. They kind of tested them to see, based on certain queries, based on certain searches, what were the best results to provide. If I'm misinterpreting this or saying it wrong, please feel free to call and correct me. But from my understanding, and they did it with the humans and they did it with RankBrain. And I think the humans kind of gave back a 60 to 70% correct results, and then RankBrain went 80 to 90%. And so you might say, oh, that's not really a huge jump when it really is, to provide that much better of results, more relative. And even if a lot of times, when you're typing in and we talk about how people search in conversation now, when they're searching something, it's not a specific keyword, it's more conversational.
Right.
I think that RankBrain is going to be able to really diagnose what you're searching for and what you need to see in the search results.
And that's a main reason why Google's pushing to get Panda and Penguin automated.
Right.
So basically, as this thing's over here learning these results and everything it's giving, and what's actually getting the right, that secret sauce to getting those search results right, so they're giving the right results back, then that's where your Panda and your Penguins come in, and also factor that into the search results as far as ranking. Again, Panda being quality content and good quality stuff on your site, navigation, user experience, all that stuff. And then with Penguin, your backlinks and all that. It's going to take all that factor into that AI, that artificial intelligence, and then spit out a ranking factor.
Yeah.
I mean, that the results.
Yeah. So for just a solid definition, and I was able to pull up that article from Bloomberg, and it's a really good one. Like I said, I'll tweet it out so you can read it. It kind of really clarifies what it is and why they created it. But kind of here's their definition, especially the engineers at Google, on what it is. Hang
on before you get in. We actually have a call, and he's been waiting for a while.
Oh, okay. Let's get to the caller.
Rick, you're on the air. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Thanks. Evening.
Hey, how you doing, Rick?
Welcome. Good. Thanks for calling.
Just wanted to get your opinion on a few kind of historical SEO techniques from over the years. You were talking about SEO and search marketing.
Yeah, Rick, can you turn your radio down just a little bit?
Let's turn that down. Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right.
My main question, honestly, directed at Mr. Caleb, would be, what would you say the top 5 SEO techniques that were used in the 1800s were?
This is a prank call.
Yeah, it's a prank call. Thanks for the call, Rick.
Yeah, wow, okay. All right, so where were we? Go back to what your article you were talking about.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that was, but it was probably one of my buddies toying with me, or getting one of their buddies to toy with me. Who knows? But yeah, if you really do want to call in with a question, please feel free to do so. But like I said, based off the report from Bloomberg, and they were interviewing the engineers at Google, how they created RankBrain and why. But their definition basically is RankBrain uses artificial intelligence to embed vast amounts of written language into mathematical entities called vectors that the computer can understand. If RankBrain sees a word or phrase it isn't familiar with, the machine can make a guess as to what words or phrases might have a similar meaning and filter that result accordingly. So it's making it more effective at handling never before seen search queries.
Yes.
Kind of in depth. But, if you see that's what it's going to provide, it's going to understand these never before seen queries and provide the best results possible. So, I mean, that's kind of an important factor.
But see, that's a great thing because it's given those people that didn't have the opportunity before to have that opportunity. It's kind of evening out the the playing field. You know? There's no, and it's going to see how these people react with these different results. So, you know, if they're going in and they're reading different pages or whatever, and they're not pogo sticking out of then Google can say, okay, well, that must be a great result. Let's keep it up there,
right,
and move on and you know, filter that out. So,
right.
Yeah, and I just realized I wasn't recording on Blab, but I am now.
Good.
But we are live on Blab. You can watch us and place a face with a name, but we are on here, and you can talk about that. And you can also post your questions on Blab. If you have a question, just put it up in the search thing here. We're not taking any seats right now, simply because we can't broadcast on to Blab right now, currently yet. But yeah, so what's the next topic, man? I think we covered. Did we cover it all pretty much?
Yeah, we covered it pretty good. You know, I definitely think it's something that you need to learn about and read up on, whether you're in the SEO industry or not, because it's changing a lot of the games. So yeah, a great topic. Read up on it. Like I said, I'll tweet those articles out, and you can learn about it. But we had some questions.
Yeah, well, actually, we have a caller. I want to see who that is.
Oh, nice.
Give him a second. All right, put David on the air. David, welcome to Search Talk Live.
Yeah, I just had a question for Caleb about native advertising and the role it plays with SEO marketing.
Oh, that's a question for Mr. Robert, actually. I am not in the advertising field.
You know, he said Caleb, and I zoned out. What'd you say? What was your question?
About native advertising. It's playing a bigger role these days in search. But from an SEO standpoint, how big of a role is it playing?
Advertising and SEO do not come together. I mean, you can... it depends on what you mean by that question. I mean, by advertising, you're not going to rank higher other than in the paid spots.
Well, native advertising, you know, you write content, you put it at the bottom of a lot of pages, and you have ads, and there's actually good content out there, and you can see some internal linking. But how big of a role is that actually playing in SEO these days? Are you getting any link benefit from it? Is it doing anything for you?
No, it's not, actually. Google's algorithm actually watches out and does not give credit for advertising.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, man. All right. You said you saw another question online?
Yeah. We had a few questions come in this week that I think are kind of some good topics to cover on the air, because I think you know, kind of beginner SEOs, or if you're in advertising, working on paid search, whatever it might be, you know, these are kind of good topics to cover. And I've actually seen this a few times. And the first one is calling about long tail keywords. And the question was, what are long tail keywords and should I be using them? So, yeah, you want to knock that one out or start that one off?
Yeah, I can definitely. Long tail keywords is not exactly what it is calling it. I mean, it's not it doesn't mean it's a long keyword phrase. What it is, it's a keyword that's specific to your niche or service, and it's more laser focused keyword. And a lot of people go that way because, you know, they're fighting up against the big brands and all that stuff. So they'll try to be specific on the searches and get as close as they can as far as like people searching on mobile and that type of thing. But yes, I highly recommend it. It's long tail is going to give you a more focused, targeted customer.
Absolutely. You know, when you're seeing long tail keywords, it's kind of 3 words or more, and so you know, it's not a phrase or like a sentence per se, but you know, if you got 3 words or more, it's considered a long tail keyword. I think it's a really good thing for local SEO. Some of the benefits is, you know, you can get really targeted with the type of traffic that you're focusing on, the audience that you're focusing on. And though you might not see a lot of, traffic from that, you're not going to use long tail keywords to, increase a lot of traffic and get so many views on your website. But it's going to be a very targeted traffic to where the conversions are going to be pretty high. And so it's kind of, though you're not going to get the increased traffic, the targets that are coming to your website are more likely to actually convert and do what you're wanting them to do when they get to your site, when they get to that landing page, and it's not going to be as competitive the kind of the general terms, whatever industry you might be, but it's not going to be as competitive, which is also a good thing.
Yeah,
and
it makes ranking a little bit easier.
Yeah, ranking's going to be a little bit easier, but you're kind of really big in AdWords and paid advertising, stuff like that. You know how the certain keywords can really, really be competitive.
Well, yeah, I mean, AdWords, if you're doing it, is a great place to mine for keywords. I mean, like especially if you're tracking your conversions and that type of stuff, then that's a great place to look. And there could be long tail in there. It could be certain phrases, but yeah, definitely, because right there you've done the work, the research, and what's working and what's not. So.
Yeah, I mean, for long tail keywords, if you are especially for a local business, if it's all about conversions, whatever you're wanting to do in your local market, and so those long tail keywords will allow you to be specific in who you're targeting and what you're wanting to rank for. And I think especially for local search, we've said it before, it's much more conversational. You might be looking for,
semantics.
A bike repair shop in Orlando, Florida, or, something of that nature, something more focused. I think, that's going to be huge for you. And so it's always not necessarily about, how much traffic you're going to get to your site to this certain page, but it's more about the conversions. You don't want people coming to your site and bouncing right off. They might be looking for a specific thing. They get to your site, that increases the bounce rate. It just doesn't look good. So you want that targeted traffic to where they're coming to your site for a specific purpose, and then those conversions are going to be there. So, it's all going to go hand in hand. So long tail keywords, definitely useful, definitely beneficial for you. And, it's something you're going to need to use.
Yeah. Now, wanted to give a shout out to our sponsor, the Robert Palmer family of companies. It is we want to thank you so much for sponsoring our show. These guys are awesome. They have RP funding where you can get refinancing done or home loans. They are an equal housing lender, equal opportunity lender. I can't get that out.
You got to get it out.
Yeah. So you can check them out at rpfunding.com. If you want to call in with the show, the number is 855-722-0006. Again, it's 855-722-0006. We will answer any of your digital marketing questions or SEO questions, maybe, whatever you'd like. Or you can, if you're on if you're on Blab and you're watching us right now, you can also type your questions off to the side there. So that would be great. We'd love to answer questions. Caleb,
yes.
What's next on the list, man?
Let's see here. Trying to sort through these, see what's going on. I actually like this question. And when I first started out, I kind of had this question myself. And it's kind of big into the whole guest posting, link building, content marketing. It says I was able to complete a guest post on a quality website, but they have the link to my site as no follow. Can I ask them to change it, or does it matter?
That's a pretty easy one.
That is a pretty easy one.
Let's say yes.
Well, there's
next. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're doing guest posting, the whole mindset you need to have approaching it is you want to provide quality content for that site. It's gonna. They're not stupid. They know that you're trying to get something out of it. They know that especially the high quality sites that get requests on a daily basis that they have to sort through so many. They know what you're doing it and why you're doing it, and that's kind of where the whole relationship building comes into play with guest posting, with outreach link building. It's all about building those relationships. And so that's a really big part of it. Now, I will say on the front end, if you are doing outreach, it is crucial to do as much research as you possibly can on who you're talking to, what they put on their site, their guest posting policy, even look up the backlinks to their website, who they're linking out to. I mean, as much information as you possibly can.
Go ahead.
Oh.
I thought you were done. Sorry, I was going to go.
You're cutting me my rant off here. No, I'm just kidding. But one of the things you really need to look at is, and one of the first things I'll look at is that I go on and I see who has provided a guest post on their site if they accept them. I analyze that article, the links inside that article, and then I'll go see if they are follow or no follow. Now, your sole purpose in doing it is not to get those follow links, though that is a great win when you do get those. But, that's something you're going to have to determine whether you still want to reach out to them or not, whether it's a no follow link. Depending on the relationship that you have with that site owner, you can, and if they do have other follow links on other guest posts, you can reach out to them, maybe ask them why. Hey, I noticed it's a no follow link. Is there a particular reason? Is there anything I can do to change it? Something of that nature. So it all depends on the relationship that you have with them. But, depending on the site you are on and depending on the traffic they get, the link's going to be very beneficial, especially if they have high volume and a lot of people reading their content and your content. It's going to help increase traffic to your site as well.
That's the point I was going to get to.
Yeah, it's going to help increase traffic to your site as well. And so, it's getting your voice out there, getting your voice heard, branding yourself, and building that relationship, joining a whole nother community and expanding your audience as much as you can. And, just by getting a post on there, I know I've seen it several times just for myself doing it, just by getting a post on that site, a high quality site with a lot of traffic that's got a very loyal following. Even if I only get a small percentage out of that, it's a win for me.
Yeah,
and I provided good quality content as well.
Right. And if it's a no follow, but it brings you 100, 200 people a month in traffic, that's a win.
Yeah.
Because your whole goal is to drive traffic to your site, right?
Yeah.
Search engines or anything or not. That should be your ultimate goal, is to bring people to your site. And if you're on a quality site that has quality content, that's going to happen.
It's going to happen. And there's so much good. I know a lot of people said, well, don't guest post, don't accept guest posts, don't do this, don't do that. No, accept guest posts, do outreach link building, do guest post. It's a huge part of what building your backlink profile should be. But it's all about the research that you put into it. And that's why a lot of people kind of steer clear from it, or they pay SEO agencies to do it, because it does take a lot of time. It does take a lot of research, but there's a lot of benefits from it. And, even if you have that no follow link and you get out of that no follow link, say it gets shared 250 times, and then you get so many readers to it, and they scroll down to your site and, they click on the link in the bio or whatever link that you might have that's relevant to the content. They go to your site. Maybe you get some newsletter signups from it. Maybe you get some, you got emails right there. You can reach out to them, retarget them. So there's so much that can come from it. So I wouldn't necessarily say focus on whether the links are follow or no follow. Focus on how many people you're going to reach, the audience that you're going to have, the content that you're providing, and building that relationship. Because I've had it myself to where I've written articles for sites, and then other people have come to me just from that and say, well, if he can write an article for this site,
it opens all kinds of doors.
Hey, they can, maybe they can write an article for me, for my site, maybe I can write an article from them. There's just so much that can come from it. Building your social media audience, there's so much. So
now the number to call is 855-722-0006. The number again is 855-722-0006. You can call in with any of your questions, and we are live on the air. Let's see. Sorry, Caleb, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're
good.
good.
Give that number out, and you just see that you need to mute.
Yeah, I thought it was muted. That's my bad.
Somebody was getting echoed. Anyway, so type your questions on Blab if you like. You can answer your questions there. Let's see. What else? What else do you want to cover there, Caleb?
Trying to think.
You got any more questions that you found?
Yeah. Here's kind of a simple one. How often should I be posting on my blog?
Every 10 minutes.
Well, if you're, this is kind of they really didn't kind of expand on what kind of blog or content they were providing. If it was a, e-commerce site, whatever it may be. I'd say if you're just if that's all you do is provide content, if you're just a blog, if you're just providing that news content, whatever it may be, you're going to want to post, I think, more frequently than others.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't say like 3-4 a day.
No. I mean, well, if you have the staff, sure, why not?
Yeah, if you got the staff, but a lot of people don't have the staff.
I mean, if you're one person writing for a blog, I mean, there is no set in stone. Yes, you need to do this, this, and this. It's probably preferable to, if you're a one-person show and you want to put out content, put out one a day, maybe two. Two. I would say two minimum, or if possible, one is fine. But you want to keep that active, because basically the whole purpose of your blog is to bring people into your site and to read them to read your content. So, and kind of like what we talked about in the last show about having a mailing list and keeping those people coming back to your site every week and putting that out. Those things are just key to keeping traffic coming to your site and increasing that traffic over time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily think it's in posting so many times or putting out so much content. I really think, and I've been guilty of it, I think so many sites are guilty of it, is they put out so much content that they really lack in quality.
Yep.
They get content because they think that their audience is just wanting more and more and more and more, which is not necessarily true. And so the more content you're putting out, you're trying to, feed into this. Well, we got to provide more. They're really lacking in the quality. And I think if you're focusing on kind of providing more of the quality content, maybe posting a little less, maybe go to 2 to 3 times a week, and really kind of doing your research, providing, and this is really big. I think there's a lot of content out there and this is just from my standpoint, because I'm all about link building and earning those links, is that you really want to provide that linkable content. And when you put that bad content out there, first off, you're going to get no engagement from it. Nobody's going to, they'll read it and they'll be like, oh, it's the same thing I've heard 1,000 times. And that's something we were actually talking about this morning.
Yeah.
It's like, how much are you going to talk about doing this and doing that? Like everybody's just talking about the same thing, and sometimes you do need to talk about the same thing because it is important, but other times it's just the same thing over and over again. And so really focus on that quality content. And when you focus on that quality content, when you focus on doing your research, providing statistics, having other voices in your content, high references and all this other kind of stuff that people can actually read, benefit from, and other sites will want to link to, you're going to be better off. And I also believe, and I read this from somebody, I completely forgot who it was, and I could not agree more. I can't remember if it's SEO Roundtable, SEM Rush. It was one of those to where you don't need to focus on creating so much content instead of marketing your good quality content. And I think the ROI is going to be, it's going to be much better than just shelling out as much content as you possibly can.
Yes. And, that's a good, I'm glad that somebody brought up that question.
Yeah. So, don't worry about how much you're going to put out there. If anything, focus on the quality content, focus on creating that linkable content, because, especially for smaller sites, and I've worked for a lot of them to where, we just can't build backlinks, we can't do outreach, we're going to have to pay for links, so on and so forth. Now, really focus on the quality content that you're providing, see what people in that industry, what other sites are linking to and why they're linking to it. And so, focus on that kind of thing. Focus on marketing that good content, and even look back into your older content and what can be updated. What can you change? Can you change some titles, some images? Can you throw that content into a, kind of a guideline if you've talked about the same thing, just different aspects of it multiple times? You can change that into a guideline, into a newsletter. There's so much you can do with the content that you've provided. And you can add certain things to it. That's kind of a show I think we did 5-6 episodes ago, what you can do with your old content, which if you haven't gone back and listened to it, I think you should, because I got a lot of good insight from other professionals doing what I'm doing as far as content marketing, link building, and, content strategy. But, what you can do with your old content. So you don't necessarily have to create new content every day and just go. But, focus on, and I'll end my rant, focus on on creating good quality content, linkable content, content that your readers and other people in your niche and your industry can benefit from. And I think you're going to see a much better return on your investment.
Good stuff, man. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to go in the chat too. But if you're listening, I mean, if you're just tuning in, we're talking search engine optimization, search engine marketing. We covered a little bit on RankBrain. RankBrain. Sorry, I keep getting that backwards.
Yeah.
We talked about that and covered that and what it is and how it works. If you did miss that, you can go to our Sprecher.com and listen to the archive there. We are live on Blab. So
tune in.
Yeah, if you want to come in and blab, see what we actually look like. And it's pretty scary, but it's right around Halloween, so it's okay.
Yeah. I think I had some buddies tune in or not tune in or something of that nature. So
yeah.
Shout out to y'all for tuning in.
Yeah, and I think that you can also type in your question on the side in Blab, and if you have a question right there, we can cover it right now because we are a live show. Let's see what else.
That's weird.
Got any other questions?
Let's see here. Well, one did just come in while we were talking about it. Do no follow links pass link juice?
Can't tell you. Sorry. No.
I have no idea. No.
There's been studies.
That's a really good question because for so long I wanted to. You were always like, well, it's got no follow, so who cares? And a lot of links, and I don't necessarily think that's true. I think they have to have some type of benefit. They have to have pass. They keep saying, was it Mueller that said?
Yeah. John Mueller from Google said that.
That's right.
It passes very little, but it passes something. But really, honestly, and I think this is purely my speculation, and I think on this is that if a site is bringing in traffic to that through that link, Google knows that, and it's going to give it more of a kind of a boost.
Yeah.
In credit in link juice. I mean, that's my feeling on the whole thing. But yeah. So Ashley, welcome for joining us. If you have some questions, please type them in the chat there.
Yeah.
And
love some questions.
If you're just coming in, we are Search Talk Live. We talk about everything to do with search marketing, search optimization, search engine optimization, website optimization, conversion optimization, social media. What else?
Yeah. And if you do have a question, the number is 855-722-0006. You can press option 1, send you over to our man Dave, the man behind the mask, operating the system. Making us look good, making us sound good. We always appreciate Mr. Dave. Yeah. Shout out to our man. Like I said, you can follow us on Twitter at Search Talk Live. You can tweet us your questions.
Yes.
You can bash us if you want to, whatever it may be.
And don't forget our sponsor.
Yeah. Yes, the Robert Palmer family of companies.
Yes.
You go to robertpalmerfamilyofcompanies.com. You'll see things like RP funding. You'll see Saving Thousands, his financial radio show. You'll see, let's see here.
Help us out, Dave. What else? He has a podcast, or a radio show, actually, not a podcast.
The Saving Thousands radio.
And he's over at 1,000 different, not 1,000, 100 different
stations. Pretty good stuff. Always need help with the finances.
If you want to learn more about our podcast, we're also at our website, which is searchtalklive.com. You can follow us on Twitter at searchtalklive, or you can reach Caleb at CJ_MCE.
Hey, you remembered.
No, it's right here on Blab. And you can reach me at RobertOhaver, Robert O'Haver.
Yeah. Security National. That's the other Robert Palmer family of companies.
And the other guy that sings, Addicted to Love.
Addicted to Love. Good stuff. Good stuff.
So, let's see. You got another question on us?
Let's see here. Looking through my notes. No, I think those are really good questions. And
those are great.
Yeah, those are really good questions. And that's what we really like is these questions coming in. Because I always said it's just like school when your teacher told you ask a question because the rest of the class probably has the same thing. So if you got a question.
Let's talk more about algorithms.
Yeah, let's shoot.
One thing that's going to help with help me, I keep getting it backwards. RankBrain. RankBrain. I keep getting it backwards. I don't know why. One of the things that RankBrains is going to help, like we said, it works and coincides with all the different other algorithms out there. So as Google and Panda, they all get automated, which I think Panda will be released here next month, or this month actually, sometime, or possibly December. In the past, they've never released anything in December. So I'm thinking if they're going to release it, it's going to be this month or the first of the year, the first part of the year, because a lot of people at Google, they go on vacation and stuff. So in case something goes wrong, they want to have people there. So, because of the holidays and all that stuff. But, so what I was saying is, for example, part of the ranking signals that RankBrain is going to do is because it's self-learning and artificial intelligence, and this is not new. Like if you're just tuning in, RankBrain was released the first part of the year. So it's not something new. It's just they really started announcing it now.
Yeah, it wasn't just released past week or so.
I think they wanted to air out the kinks and make sure they didn't screw something up before they announced it. So.
Yeah, it was just kind of how they work, which is smart.
But, I mean, they have a testing sandbox.
Yeah. Well, I mean, RankBrain isn't this whole entity by itself. Yeah. It's from our understanding, it's part of the Hummingbird algorithm.
Well, it's a bit of everything.
It's really a bit of everything, but it's not a standalone thing. It's a part of to help improve. And so, these algorithms are out there to, whether it's Pigeon to improve local SEO, Hummingbird, Panda, Penguin, all these kind of things. It's an important factor, and it's not a standalone. Like I said, I think they said it's like 15% or whatever. It's those searches that have never been searched before. Those keywords, those phrases that have never been searched before. It's going to be able to identify and produce those results that are most relative. And
and then it's kind of going to go through the list. Just going to go, okay, does the site have quality content? Is it relevant?
Yeah.
Is it? Does it have good links to it? Does it have a penalty? Does it have? Is it a local business? Is it? It's going to run through all those different algorithm at one time, which all this happens in milliseconds.
Right.
But it's going to run through that, and then it's going to rank those things. And then once it learns the interaction between the user doing the search and the site, it's going to say either, okay, this wasn't relevant enough because they bounced right out. So we're going to throw this up next time for the same result. And then once they get it all fine-tuned, life is good, and that site ranks in that position. I don't know if it stays, obviously. Ranks always fluctuate. So, and it's going to give sites that didn't have the opportunity before more of an opportunity if it's a relevant and not spammy site. So it's going to cover through Panda, Penguin, Hummingbird, all of that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's a ranking signal, and it's one of the ranking signals, and the plethora of ranking signals that there are. Of course, some more important than others. And I know we've had that awesome periodic table of SEO factors and ranking signals.
Thanks, Search Engine Land.
Search Engine Land has that, which is an awesome tool to use. Kind of breaks it down for you and where it goes and how it's used. But it's one of those ranking signals. It's going to be an important factor, I think. The more we learn, the more we'll understand of the impact and how we can use it, and what it's going to mean to search results. But like I said, I don't think it's going to be earth-shattering at all. I don't think
it's been out for 8 months now, 7 months. So
it's kind of like the Mobilegeddon. Everybody thought, oh my goodness, Y2K, Mobilegeddon, Earth's going to end, kind of thing. And I know we've watched a few YouTube videos and stuff like that where that's the case. It's kind of like mind blowing, but it's not really. It's a very cool feature. The fact that they have an AI program that's going to basically continuously better itself and understand the content on your site, understand search queries that have never been searched before, that might not, kind of makes sense, or it's hard for them to interpret, it's going to be better results with RankBrain. Now you got me confused. I want to call it Mon something.
So I have a feeling that Matt Cutts is listening to the show. Good luck on your 30-day challenge of cooking every day. I just had to throw that out there because he's tweeting like crazy right now about it. So, yeah, anyway, that covers the new algorithm. And, it's also going to look for sites that are heavy in ads. They want to make sure that, the search results, as this thing keeps learning and improving on the search results, it's going to be so fine-tuned. And that's the way we need it, especially, people, if you don't have SEO work done to your site, or you haven't done it yourself, and making sure that your site is so laser focused. This is so important right now. And with Penguin coming out next month, it's even super important that you still have time to go clean up those backlinks. If you have a bad link profile, you need to clean it up, because it'll give you time, because once this algorithm comes out, it's going to be updating automatically. And you want to have that in place and done before all that stuff comes out. And don't forget to call us if you have a question. The number is 855-722-0006. Again, you can call us right now with your SEO, SEM, social media questions. I think we should just call it SEM. It's too much to say. But you can call in with your questions. The number is 855-722-0006. Again, the number is 855-722-0006. We're live on Blab right now. If you want to join us on Blab, do a search for Search Talk Live podcast. You can come in and listen to the show, and you can ask your questions right in the chat there, or call in. I love it when people call in. It's nice.
Yeah.
So
call on in, questions, concerns, whatever you got. Love to talk about it.
I got a question here.
Yeah.
This guy is he's new to SEO, and he wants to know if there's any advice that we can give him on how to become, an expert, or not an expert. What is it? Let's see. Hold on. Advice on becoming successful in the industry. And I can really touch into that, and so can you, Caleb.
Yeah.
I'd have to start out and say, my experience is learn all you can. But first and foremost, when you're trying to get clients, communication is key. From the beginning, when you're talking to clients, whether they become your client or not, I think that setting expectations, communicating with your clients, and even training them a little bit, maybe on reporting. One thing I see with a lot of SEOs, they're great at ranking a site and that type of stuff, but their reporting is just horrible. The client gets it and don't understand it, and they end up losing them because they don't understand what you're giving them. You keep just fiddling reports to them, they don't know what they're looking at. So communication with the people is very key. You have to communicate to people. You have to send them. I like to send questionnaires to my clients before I even engage with them, because with those questions, I have like 10 questions, right, Caleb?
Yeah.
It asks who's your competition, what your goals are, all that stuff. Very important stuff, because then you can sit there and formulate a strategy for those clients. And to me, that is just key. You have to have a strategy for whatever you do.
Yeah,
Caleb, do you want to add to that?
My biggest thing is have a mentor. I was a teacher first, actually. Taught school for 3-4 years or something. Shout out to the teachers. You have a very, very difficult job. But I came into the SEO industry with no clue on actually what it was or how, to do it. But had the privilege to have some mentors. Got signed on with an agency, had the privilege to work with individuals who really knew their stuff, and asking questions consistently, learning consistently, kind of watching what they do, how they do it. You're going to mess up in SEO. You're going to mess up all the time. Learning from those, understanding analytics, understanding data, how to interpret that data, and better your efforts and your strategy. But yeah, continue to read.
That is a constant.
I mean, I don't know everything when it comes to SEO, link building, content marketing, everything like that. I read from a lot of experts on what they do, how they do it, try to communicate with them and better my knowledge. Because I will say you have to be specific in who you're learning your information from, because we've talked about that. Be really specific on who you're going to learn your information from, who you're going to contact, what you're going to read. But the more you can do that, the more you can better, the more you can kind of get your hands dirty with it and what you're trying to do, then, you're just going to be better off. It's a continual learning process. You're never going to be the best at it. You're going to continue to have to do trial and error, a lot of testing, a lot of kind of step back, analyze what you're doing, how you're doing it, why it's not working. So if you can accept failure, if you can accept that things aren't going to work and really use the information that's provided to you from that, then I think you're going to be fine.
Yeah, and it's just key. You learn a lot of stuff with time, like when to troubleshoot issues and that type of stuff. That comes with time, but you really have to filter yourself on what you're reading as far as who you're learning from, because there's so much crap out there that, and forgive my language, but there's a lot of people out there that call themselves professional SEOs. Yeah, and they've been in the industry 6 months.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of the new gold rush. They see that all you got to do is write some good content, do some titles, do some meta descriptions, make it look pretty, and boom, that's all it is. That's
God, I wish it was that easy.
Yeah, that's it, man. And now I'm gonna put this into a package and sell it to somebody for $2.99 a month, and all this other stuff, and buy links for them and all this other stuff. So. I mean, there are a lot of individuals that, will brand themselves as experts, just because it's kind of a gold rush thing. It's kind of a make a quick buck kind of thing, like, oh, we can do this. So you do have to be careful. But, there are a lot of good individuals out there, a lot of good sites. I like to think of ourselves as one of them. That
definitely
helps provide very useful, beneficial, valuable information when it comes to the digital marketing realm. Go out there. I think we've gone all episode without mentioning them, but I'm going to mention them right now.
No, I was trying to do it without.
Okay, we won't mention them.
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
They rhyme with schmoz. I don't know. You go to sites like, Moz, SEMrush, Search Engine Land, even some of the agencies, they're not all bad. There are a lot of good ones that really know what they're talking about, really know what they're doing, provide good, useful information, and educate their clients. And one of my favorite episodes that we've done is how to choose the right agency.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite episodes. And managing expectations. I think that's such a good one, because there are a lot of awesome agencies out there that really put the time and effort and allocate the resources to benefit you in digital marketing, SEO, social media, and so forth. There are a lot of great ones. I would love to name them, but can't.
That's the main reason me and Caleb do this show, is because we want to give you good quality, best practices information, because there's so much crap out there. And we've seen people get penalties from Google and stuff that they didn't even realize they did it wrong, because they hired some guy overseas or some shoddy company out there that calls themselves experts. So we want to kind of save people from that and help them and provide them with good information. Some people like Rand Fishkin, Barry Schwartz, Dan Sullivan, all those people provide great quality. Danny Sullivan, he puts on the SMX show every year. Yeah, huge, biggest marketing show for online out there.
We'll make it 1 year, Rob.
Yeah, we're going next year.
We'll make it 1 year.
But so you want to trust those things. There's Search Engine Land, Search Engine Journal. There's SEO Roundtable. There's just a whole slew of things, and that can help you out there. And there's training. Obviously, back when I started 13 years ago, this wasn't offered in college. Now it's a college course.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I could be a professor.
Yeah. Yeah, which I think it should be, because I don't think the industry is going anywhere. I think there will be certain components of the industry that'll be fine-tuned, kind of maybe put aside, but I don't think the industry is going anywhere. It can, if anything, it's developing. So, just be careful in who you're choosing, the information that you're getting, but continue to learn. It's an ongoing process. I try to learn something new every day in the industry. So yeah, good luck.
Yeah, SEO is never going to go anywhere, because there's always going to be sites that need optimization. Yeah. Whether just to make a clear message of what they offer and structure and customers, user experience.
Yeah.
That's never going to go away.
And if I see one more article or one more tweet or one more something about why link building is dead, I will hunt you down, and we will.
Yeah, you just got to be careful. If you don't read, sometimes if you don't read the article, they put that in there so you click on it.
Oh, no, I click on them and read them. And some of them are clickbait, but some of them are, here's why link building is dead.
Yeah.
And link building is not dead.
No, and it's still very strong. Yeah. There's always conversion optimization to me is part of it. Designing websites, that's part of it. Laying out pages in a way and to create that funnel for visitors to complete that action you want them to do on your site.
Yeah.
Never going to go away. In fact, it's just increasing, SEO is not just about ranking a website on Google, the first page.
No. And we'll say it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
If you're gearing your website, your content, everything for the search results, for Google, for ranking, I don't think you're going to have much success. It's all about the user experience, the quality content, focusing on that, and I think you'll have much better success. Though you have to do it inside, certain SEO guidelines. So there has to be a little focus, but focus on the user experience, not cramming your site full of keywords and all that kind of thing.
Right. And be clear, especially if you're a local business, be very clear. Use those citations, your city, your state, whatever you're trying to go after. If it's your local city, don't worry if you live in, one city and one's right next to you. You're still going to show up in search. That's what Pigeon is all about. It helps with the local searches. So if you're in a city next, a couple miles away, you're still going to come up even though you're in a certain part of that city.
Yeah.
Those citations are so important.
Citations are big. I love local citations. I love managing those local citations because they're not just getting listed. In a lot of the quality citations, you kind of need to do some research and figure out what's the best citations for your industry. But a lot of those, there's getting user reviews, interacting with your users in those citations, having really good, consistent information, clear cut, great image, just everything, having very quality profiles or high quality profiles in those, can definitely help you, are good signals for local SEO. And, they can also help drive some business, help drive some traffic. But consistent information is crucial. And if you get on those, have people, comment on your Yelp page or whatever it may be. Get those reviews on there, because people are looking at those. Especially local restaurants, Urban Spoon, and all those. People look at those. They look for rankings. They look for pricing. Individuals, whatever your local business may be, they love to read reviews because I'm going to trust somebody that's used those services. I'm going to trust what they say, the feedback they give. Now, I know you can't please everybody, so you're going to have some ticked off customers that are going to leave bad reviews. But for most of them, they're going to be very helpful. And so, you can really utilize those local citations for your business, for your website, and help boost yourself and increase your the visibility in search results.
Hold the phones. Do you have a brother named David?
I do have a brother named David.
He is sitting here watching us on Blab.
I do have a brother named. Shout out to David. Older brother. my bearded brother. Everybody
I'm
says,
like, you guys look like twins.
yeah, a lot of people say we look like twins. So yeah, shout out to Dave.
Yes.
Awesome dude.
So we have about 5 minutes left in the show. If you have a question you want to jump in with, the number is 855-722-0006. If we don't get to finish your question, you might have, we can definitely pick up on it in the next show. But call us, and we'll do our best to answer your questions.
Yeah.
You know, we've gone through this whole show and not one. You've got 2 props, and I've got 0. That's the worst I've ever seen.
Nobody's giving us props.
Wow. Feeling the love today. Anyway. So I think we're going to end the show now. The number here is 855-722-0006. You can listen to us every Tuesday at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. Did I do that wrong?
No.
Oh,
You're
okay.
good.
Every Tuesday, 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. You can catch us at searchtalklive.com, where you can listen to previous shows. We're now doing our shows on Blab every week.
Yeah.
And you can reach me on Twitter at Robert O. Haver. It's at ROBERTOHAVER. You can reach Caleb at
CJ_MCE. Connect with me.
Yep, and we can answer your questions there. Thanks for tuning in to the show, and thank you for your support. We will see you next week.
Have a good one.
Search Talk Live is a presentation of the Robert Palmer family of companies.